Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to review context clues and we're going to include some word parts. Again, we're going to review context clues and we're going to include some word parts. So last time we went over context clues and we went over the ones you see on the screen right now. So we talk about definition. We talked about synonyms. We also talked about antonyms, examples, and inference. Today, we're going to add parts and punctuation. When we talk about parts, we are talking about word parts. What are word parts? You should remember those. Suffix. But remember that? Prefix. Word parts. You should have learned that in other classes. So we're going to review this and we're moving from aids to pays. Yep. My page has E in there. So yes, this is page. Now, so we're going to read the sentence carefully. We're going to look for clues around the word. We're going to use roots, prefix, sometimes suffix to figure out the meaning, and we're going to choose the best answer. So some answers may be very close, but we're going to choose the best answer. So let's look at the sentence. Everybody quietly read that. Okay, Mary put the patent in a drawer and eventually it expired. Several years later, someone else revived her idea, patented, sold it, and made a very large sum of money. Now, when you look at this, I can see the word revived. When I look at the word revived, I must remember my suffix, my prefix. Everybody, remember those? So, when we look at the word revived, re means what? Again. Re means again. So that helps me to understand revived. That may be a new word for me. Now, when I look at my answer choices, I can see lived out, thought of, brought back, arranged again. So there are two that may be real close. So re means again. So we could be talking about arranged again or brought back. But there's another clue that helped me. Several years later. So if it's several years later, would that be arranged? No. It would most closely be what? Something coming back. It was brought back. Everybody see how we work out that one? So the answer is brought back. The sentence explained that someone used Mary's idea again. It shows that the idea was brought back. Now let's look at the next question. It doesn't seem as if Mary Anderson was crushed by the rejections. She lived another 50 years. Okay. When we look at this, the word that they want us to define is crushed. We know these are the big words there. Big words. But what do they want us to define? Crushed. So she was crushed. This is past tense. So all my answers are also in past tense. Okay, that's one clue. Looking at my language structure. What's the next thing I'm looking at? She was not crushed. Doesn't seem. So is that an alarm? Is that confused? No. Is that discouraged? Maybe. Is that offended? Maybe. Now, another thing you can do is put the words in the sentence. It doesn't seem as if Mary Anderson was alarmed. Alarmed, that's alarmed. Okay, so that's not alarmed. Confused, that's confused. Discouraged. Okay, offended. Now, with all of those, it doesn't seem that Mary Anderson was crushed. So, what could be your best answer choice? So, if we know the meaning of alarmed, confused, discouraged, and offended, we may be able to choose an answer. However, if you don't know the meaning, it says she lived another 50 years. That means she kept going on. So, what is that? I think your best answer is going to be what? She was not discouraged. Everybody got that? Now, why? Because she lived another 50 years and she made her family proud. So let's go to the next one. Read the sentence from passage 2. This was the beginning of a routine. Now, everyone should know about routine. Routine, wash our face, brush our teeth. So without even going to the passage, what is routine? Routine means what? Following the same thing over and over again. So I would believe routine is not agreeing, not making friends, as in B, making a decision, or following a repeated step of actions. The best answer choice, knowing that everybody does routine in class, everybody does routine at home, it would be following a set of repeated actions. So, routine is something that you do regularly. So, that is the answer for D. Now, let's look at the next question. Read the sentence from the passage. That may be true, he acknowledged, but it's completely accurate. As long as the answer is right, who cares if the question is wrong? The word accurate comes from the Latin root meaning done with care. Okay. Now, Teacher Dean says you need to do what? It needs to be accurate. It needs to be what? Right. So did I get it wrong? Did I get it correct? So what does accurate mean based on what you know from class? Let's think about it. Does balance mean done with care? Does correct mean done with care? Does finish mean done with care? Does interesting mean done with care? Also look at your word choices. Balanced, that's past tense. Finished, that's past tense. My best answer choice would be B or D. So when we say it's accurate, your best answer choice would be correct. Everybody want to see how Teacher Dean is doing it? Look at your language structure. Look at your words. Look at the passage. And then you look at the Latin root meaning. Done with care. Now, let's go to the next one. Number 7. Now, read the paragraph from the passage. Cats are not normally social animals, but they also communicate with us and can be highly perceptive about what mood you're in and how you're feeling. Okay, that word perceptive, that's a big word, but we can do this. Oh, it comes from the root meaning gather or obtain, and the suffix meaning tending to. Ah, they gave me clues. Now, they're highly perceptive. So what does perceptive mean? A, aware, B, dependent, C, nosy, or D, surprise. Let's look at the word. We can put the word in the sentence. Cats are not naturally social animals, but they also communicate with us and can be highly aware about what mood you're in. Okay, I like that. They can be, let me read this again. Cats are not normally social animals, but they also communicate with us and can be highly dependent about the mood. Oh, I'm thinking about that. Cats are not naturally social animals, but they can communicate with us and can be nosy about what mood. Hmm. Cats are not normally social animals, but they can also communicate with us and can be highly surprised. All right, everyone, let's choose the best answer. Is it A? Is it B? Is it C? Is it D? Let's choose the best answer, everyone. Very good. They are aware. So, anyone who gathers information from what they observe is aware. You are aware of what happens around you in school. You're aware of what happens in the government. Some of you tell me all the stories. That makes you aware. Let's move on to the next question. Oh, they give me a long paragraph again. No fear. Read the sentence from passage 2. The answers revealed a remarkable unanimity. Oh, yes, I can figure that out. I can use my clues. No country had a movement to take the vote away from women, nor was there any expressed desire to do so. What does the word unanimity means? Oh, they give me a clue. They tell me it's from a Latin word meaning one, and animus means mind and spirit. So if animus means mind and spirit, what could my answer be? Again, a lack of shared interest, quality of being known, a state of low total agreement. Ah, I like the one with a state of total agreement. I got that. That means we all agree. We have one mind. Everybody understand how that works? Now let's go to the next one. So yes, it's a state of total agreement. Everybody has one mind and one opinion. Now, today, which strategy helped you the most? Did you use inference, background knowledge? Did you use definitions? Did you see some Latin roots? Look at those and tell me which one helped you better today. So, what are we talking about when we look at which one helped us? We are looking at this. Any of these help you today? And every time you do your questions, think of definitions, think of your synonyms, think of your antonyms, think of your examples, think of your inference. So, those are some examples of questions that we've seen on the FAST test. And this is how I want you to practice this. Because you can't just go and look for one word and say, I got it. You have to read the entire passage. So, what do good readers do? What do fast experts do? What do they do? Maybe I don't have it on the slide. But fast experts learn to use their context clues. They use their inference. Everybody got that? They learn to use their word parts. So here, you tell me which context clues did you use for revive? Which context clue did you use for crush? Which context clue did you use for routine? Which context clue did you use for accurate? I need you to write them down, and your answer should be any part of A's: antonym, inference, definition, examples, synonyms. Thank you, everyone, and have a superb day. See you next class.